Hey, welcome back. So, guys, as part of the previous session, we have seen a simple example or a theoretical representation on this particular logical operators, right? So, logical operator, a simple example that we have seen that whenever you use an AND, right, if the both expressions are true, then only the expression outcome is a true. When you use an R, if any expression outcome is a true, the outcome is gonna be true. Right. So the outcome is gonna be the true. So basically, the last one negation is gonna be if something is a true, the output for that negation is gonna be a false, which we can say a vice versa of that particular existing outcome. So to understand this one in a much more easier way, so let us consider this kind of a tabular format. Okay, expression 1, expression 2, exp1 and exp2, and the same way exp1 oblique exp2, so which is an or. So if the value is true, see, the tabular format automatically my copilot is prompting me, I just accepting that. So if you look at this end criteria, okay, if you look at this end criteria in general, whenever we were studying the mathematical, right, the end notation, it's one and the same, right? If one is true or if one is a false, the end outcome itself is always a false. If one is a true, the R outcome is always a true. Okay, the R outcome is always a true. That's it. That's a simple thing that you need to consider. Okay, so perfectly all right. So let us create a simple program to understand this concept. So console.log, I'm trying to print this information. So what I'm gonna do right now here is maybe, okay, so 2 greater than 2 greater than 2. So as I am specifying a multiple conditions, right? So here I'm defining in this way, and 2 greater than 5. So if you observe in this situation, basically, okay, let me surround it with the braces too. So what it's gonna happen, 2 greater than 2, the condition outcome is a false. And 2 greater than 5, of course, this outcome is also false. So the overall outcome is a false. Okay, the similar way here, if you put this logic again, 12 greater than 5, instead of a and, I'm using an or here. Okay, instead of a and, I'm using an or here. As in, when you use an or, the outcome is gonna be that particular true itself, right? Or, so here, what I'm gonna do here is for the negation, 2 greater than 2. Ideally, the output of a 2 greater than 2 is a false, as in when you use this negation, right? So logical not, the outcome it's gonna be the true. Okay, perfectly all right. So when I run this program, right, see false, true, true, the execution got a printed down, the summary got a printed down to the console. Okay, the summary got a printed down to the console. And so, if you remember the first session where we were discussing about the arithmetic operators, where we have used a plus out over there, right? So here, okay, where first name, okay, so where first name is equal to Surendra, where last name is equal to Jagannatham. So I want to add these two things. So the simple chunk that I can use here is console.log. So first name plus last name, I can use a plus operator here, where in which it's just adding those names. So first name plus a last name. So when I run this particular program, if you observe, Surendra Jagannatham is completely coming as a single word. So that's the reason what we have done here is we just added an empty space in between, so that when I run this program, Okay, so what happened here? What just happened? So let me save it. And when I run this particular program, if you look at it, Surendra space Jagannatham got added. Okay, so this is the way how exactly you can utilize the operators. So moving further in the real world, when we were working on our coding, right, we will be using a conditional statements like if the login button got a displayed, perform these actions. So, if this value is greater than this value, do this operation, something like that we will be doing as part of our real world. The operators play a vital role. So, we will be looking at the practical implementations anyways moving further. Okay, thank you. Bye bye.